Readers, this is a Readus Reacts. And the reason why this is a Readus Reacts is because I just stumbled upon the most dumbest shit. There is a petition on change.org to remove Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World, from the director's seat of Star Wars Episode 9 and replace it with George Lucas. Exactly. Now, recently Trevorrow said that he wasn't too worried about the petition, that he only actually found out about the petition after giving a speech to Lucasfilm regarding Episode 9 and working with the director of Episode 8. And I do have to admit, I was thrown the fuck off when Lucasfilm announced that Trevorrow was going to direct Episode 9, because I thought he was going to direct one of the anthology films, once it was announced that he was going to be working on the franchise. Do I have faith in him? Do I think he's the right choice for the job of director regarding the main series of films? Since the only movie that I've seen of his was Jurassic World, I have no opinions whether good or bad regarding Lucasfilm's decision for him to direct Episode 9. But Jesus fucking Christ, this petition. First of all, this petition has attracted basically everyone who was complaining about The Force Awakens, everyone who thought that Kylo Ren was a bitch, everyone who's complaining that the main character wasn't a white male, everyone who hated Star Wars Aftermath. Basically, this petition has attracted the minds of every single person who tried to sabotage the Hugo Awards, because science fiction and fantasy in the form of literature in the year 2015 wasn't straight or white or male enough for motherfuckers. Also, for those of you who are actually participating in this petition, has it ever occurred to you that George Lucas doesn't want to do this shit? I've seen the interview that he's done with Charlie Rose, and let me tell you, it's not as salty as you think it is. Yes, he called Force Awakens retro, and yes, he called Disney white slavers. But he's also said in this interview that he felt that selling Lucasfilm and Star Wars and all these other projects was the right move in his case, because he wants to make movies that he wants to see. Small experimental films that will probably only be released within film festivals or some shit. And that's fine. Some people who've seen American Graffiti or THX would probably argue that that is where George Lucas shines best. Even he said that his venture into blockbuster films was an accident with Star Wars. But readers, just because he created Star Wars does not mean that he is the right man for the job. When George Lucas created Star Wars, he created something that eventually became bigger than him. I truly do commend him for what he did with the prequels. It was the first full trilogy that he actually directed. And as far as the political game and more fleshed out versions of how the Jedi and the Sith act, we got more than what we were originally exposed to within the initial trilogy. What he did inspired millions of people to pursue their visions, to pursue their dreams. I don't know how long J.J. Abrams has always wanted to direct a Star Wars movie, but he did. And The Force Awakens is great. Yes, it has its flaws, just like the original trilogy. Yes, it has plot holes, just like the connection of the prequel trilogy to the original trilogy. But in the end, it was still Star Wars, which is what we all wanted. The reason why I don't want George Lucas back is because he's not the same person that he was when he made the original trilogy. Hell, he's not the same person he was when he made the prequels. When Disney says that they are open to see his outlines for the sequel trilogy in order to make the deal, and then look at them and go like, yeesh. That's a fucking problem. And that's not to mention that out of all the talented writers that participated in the extended universe before it was wiped clean, out of all the great stories, the story from The Force Unleashed was given George Lucas' sign of approval. The Force Unleashed! And whereas it was a fun game, that story was totally unqualified to be a bridge between episodes 3 and 4. So it's like I said, this petition has attracted the minds of individuals who didn't like the fact that there was a black stormtrooper, who don't like the fact that a female was the main protagonist, who don't like the fact that members of the LGBT community actually exist within the Star Wars universe, and are too immersed in their own childhood to realize that they're fucking drowning. I'm glad that George Lucas had a chance to see some form of his vision actually portrayed on the big screen, and it still be Star Wars. I'm glad that he got his vision within the prequel trilogy, and there are some aspects of the prequel trilogy that myself and other people actually like. But he's not the same person now than he was when he made A New Hope. He's not the same person now than he was when he whispered in the ears of the directors of Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back. He's not the same person than he was when he showed us how the Empire was formed in Revenge of the Sith. George Lucas has moved on and realized that Star Wars has grown bigger than him. So respect his decision, I guess. Or keep being whiny bitches that'll never get your way. Because you're not. Just saying. Anyways, readers, your homework assignment for the day. You got any opinions on this? I'm interested in hearing your opinions. I suddenly feel regret. Anyways, this is Readus 101. Class dismissed.